Hi, this is A. Wesley. That ain't who tells it like a TI is. If you like my video, please give a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Topic I'm going to talk to you today about is hard and hustle. It's hard and hustle. My cookie bar. It's hard and hustle. Season two, episode one and two. Episode one started off with the ladies in their confessional looks, and LeToria said that she had planned an event for all the girls to get together and try to make up their fractured relationships. And then she said until things went left. And then Chloe said she don't know exactly what happened and why things got out of hand. And then Rose said she didn't know how why things got out of hand too. She said she didn't understand. She didn't know. And then it switched to where LeToria was saying that a lot of stuff had changed since season one, and that she said that she was going to give up the entertainment industry and work on her restaurants and stuff. But she was saying she had so many clients and so many people telling her not to leave, not to leave. So she said she left the entertainment side of it, but she's now on the like more like the public relations side of it. And so she said she's gonna she's gonna have an event, and she said she hope all of the girls come by to celebrate her new venture and her job and stuff like that. And so the girls showed up, Rose showed up, and Rose said since the last time you saw her, she looks real good. She said she got a tummy tuck, and she does look real good and everything. And then Chloe said that that a lot of things has changed in her life. And the one good thing that changed in her life, beside her relationship with George, is that her son finally got a job and he's working now. Even though last year he was saying that he just wanted to be a rapper. But anyway, they got to they got to the club. I don't remember the name of the club they had in Houston. It was a nice, pretty club. But anyway, they were saying, Chloe said, did you invite all of the girls? And then Tori said, yeah, I invited all the girls, all the girls. And then so, Rose said, yeah, you invited him. And then Chloe said, what about Elena? And then Latoya said, well, I'll follow Elena on our Instagram. And what is it? Elena, I think Elena and Josh have separated because I look like I seen Elena going out on dates and she looked good. Now she was dressed up and stuff, but she's on vacation now. And said, oh, she's on vacation. And he said, what about the rest of the girls, Lebrina and Minerva? And then so the Tories said, I haven't heard from them since the last event. And they said, what about you, Chloe? Chloe said, I haven't heard about them too. And Rose said, ain't nobody talked to me either. She said, oh, well, I, I guess the group is split up now. And then LaToria said, yeah, I guess it is. But what makes me so mad is that LaToria is trying to put everything on Lebrina, and when she was the cause of it. And one thing I'm starting to notice about LaToria, she don't like to take responsibility or accountability for anything that she do. Because I remember, and they showed a couple of flashbacks too, and uh, 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 I remember Lebrina telling LaToria last year when she kept on trying to call Minerva a little girl, and she would say, "No, that's disrespecting, that's disrespecting." But I still do, and it's like she don't want to take accountability for her stuff and stuff like that. And then Ro was talking about she didn't like what Lebrina said, that was a waste of her time, and they were not in her league. Now I do think that she was so upset that she didn't realize what she was saying. But all those girls are entrepreneurs and have money and businesses, not just Lebrina and Marina and Minerva. And that's one thing I didn't like what Lebrina said, that little part right there but she was right on point about the other part with LeToria, and I don't like the fact that Roe and Chloe co-signed LeToria's bad behavior. But anyway, on to the next scene, and the next scene, and the next scene was Minerva and Lebrina at Lebrina's house, and they were talking about the same situation. And she was saying, yeah. She said, yeah, I wonder what happened. And then you left. She said, yeah, I left because I was being disrespected. Nobody want to take my feelings into accountability. When nobody want to take my feelings into accountability, I just left. She said, yeah, you left and you cussed all of them out, Lebrina. And she said, yeah, I sure did. And stuff like that. And then Minerva said, yeah, I didn't like this shit. Minerva said, yeah, I didn't like the gang up. I didn't like the gang up. I didn't like the gang up either. And I mentioned in the video when I did it about, it was like all of them was trying to get on Lebrina's back and stuff like that. And nobody was taking up for it. But Minerva tried to do a little bit of something. But then well, have you heard from me and the girls, Lebrina? Lebrina said, no, and I don't want to hear from them. She said, we could be over here and they could be over there. But the group is kind of separate now. And Lebrina said, well, it's on them, Minerva. Like I said, we will be over here and they'll be over there. And she said, what about, have you heard anything from Elena? She said, no, I haven't seen or heard anything from Elena, but I did see she posted pictures on Instagram, and she said, yeah, she did, and she looked good. And so it switched to the next scene, and the next scene was before that, Chloe told at the event, Chloe told Rose that her and Josh were having problems, and she went through Josh's phone and she found some numbers, and then she also found out that Josh was dating another lady, and the other lady had a key to Josh's apartment, and Roe and LeToria told her that she don't need that kind of stuff in her life and stuff like that. And then LeToria asked Chloe would she like her to talk to Jordan for her. And so if which the next scene after that, the next scene after that was um Josh was yeah it was yeah yeah it was it was Josh talking to Josh talking to uh Josh talking to Lebrina and William, and he was talking about everything in the marriage, and he was saying that he wasn't the only one. He said, and Elena was still mad at him about him wasting that money in that investment, and he was saying that was a height of the pandemic and stuff like that, and he was saying her business was about to go under, and so what he did, he thought if he made them investments, he would make the money back over, and he would save her business. He was trying to save her business and stuff like that. And he was saying he wasn't the only one cheated. Elena cheated too. And then so Minerva said in her professional, it's good to hear both sides of the story because she'd already heard Elena's side of the story. And now she finally get a chance to hear Josh's side of the story. And she said it seemed like Josh really tried to want that marriage. Now Josh didn't want that marriage because if Josh really wanted that marriage, he wouldn't have kept emphasizing that she go to counseling separately, he go to counseling separately. He really didn't want to go on no counseling. But I think Josh is one of them men that he thought that as long as he was providing and doing stuff and stuff like that, that Chloe could do the work herself and not him and stuff. And like they were saying, both of y'all in the marriage, and both of y'all have good marriage counseling. He just wanted her to go and not him. Like he didn't have no problem, but he had problems too. Uh, and so I kind of listen to his side too, but it was a little bit too late for me, Josh. She gave you plenty of chances to um to uh to um to try to work on the marriage and stuff like that. And nobody really wants a couple to, especially when they're on TV, and not don't want a couple to break up and and stuff like that. That was all a part of part one. Part two continued from where it left out with Josh and them. And then the next scene after that was Elena, she had said she got this lady who's an NFL wife, and she's been on her customer for years, and she comes in and get her makeup and stuff touched up. And I got to say, honey child, that red wig that she had on and that makeup that she had on, honey child, that made Elena look good. But anyway, Elena's friend was asking her, she said, what's going on with your marriage? She said, well, stuff got tough. And me and Justin separated. You and Justin separated, so you really want to do it? She said, I tried to work on the marriage. I tried to work on the marriage. I was going through marriage counseling and all that stuff. And it's like Josh didn't want to go. Josh didn't want to put in the work, but I wanted to put in the work, and I just got tired. And she said, yeah, you got to do what's best for you. What's best for you. She said, how you doing now? She said, I'm doing all right. She said, well, she said, well, right now, I'm just taking it easy. Taking it easy. She said, well, are you dating? She said, well, not seriously, but not seriously, but I am seeing a couple of people. Say, oh, you seeing a couple of people? Say, oh yeah, that's the way it is. Take it slow, take it slow. So they went to the next scene, and the next scene was Roe was was yeah, yeah. The next scene was um was Roe talking to LeToria, and they was running, and she was saying that she gonna try to do another event, and she hope all the ladies come. And she said, "Yeah, I'm glad you came to run with me because I want to talk about that. You want to talk about too." She said, "What do you think about what's going on with Chloe and Joy?" She said, "Like I told Chloe at the event, she don't need that with all that stuff in her life. And she need to either work on that." She said, "Did you talk to Jordan?" She said, "Yeah, I talked to Jordan. Jordan gonna talk about he's want to get married and get engaged and stuff." And I told him, you gotta do some work for us. I said, you gotta make sure that that's the one you want, and Chloe is the only one you want." And then Rose said, "Yeah, that's why I said I told her I'm her friend." And stuff like that. But she said, "I hope everything work out." But like I told her, there's more fish in the sea. And then it switched to the next scene, and the next scene was after that. The next scene was I think the next scene was was Chloe doing FaceTime with Joy, and Joy said, "Ooh, I really love you, I really love you. I wanted to make up, I wanted to have dinner and this, that, and that." And our engagement stuff. She said, "The only reason why I called you was because your mama said you were sick and stuff." And she said, "I want to wish you well and stuff." He said, "But I'm just saying we would go out, we could have dinner." She said, I don't know." He said, "Yeah, we need to talk about an issue, get about issues." She said, "Yeah, I know all that." She said, "What is you got to make sure that you ready to be in a relationship with me because I ain't got time to be playing around." So he said, "No, I really want to be in a relationship with you." He said, "Okay, I'll think about having dinner with you." And then it switched to the next scene. It switched to the next scene, and the next scene was let me see. Let me pause it right quick, and I'll be right back. The last scene was uh, Chloe and uh, and Roe and LeToria. I think they were having lunch, and they were together. And they were sitting down. She was saying, "Well," she said, "Yeah, this event that we're going to have next is for charity, and everybody's supporting this organization. This organization with me in Houston. All the ladies." And then so Chloe said, "Are you still planning on inviting all the ladies?" And she said, "Yeah." And then Rose said, "Do you think everything gonna go all right? When you inviting all the ladies with the little fraction that we having in the group?" And LeToria said, I hope so, because we're all black women, we're all professionals and stuff like that. And we all know how to act up in the professional setting." And Rose said, I'm just saying." Gloria said, "Well, I hope everything go all right." And that was the end of episode 2. I did like 1 better than 2. I'm trying to catch up as fast as I can. But this is A. Wesley. That ain't even tells it like the TI is. I am out.